Hello, guys. Good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So, today I just want to talk about some of the herbs that I have here in our farm that are medicinal. So, I am not a professional doctor, so everything that I'll say here is just based on research and also experience using some of these herbs. Before I start with the herbs in my kitchen garden, I just want to talk about this tree. So this is a neem tree. Here in our local language, we call mwarubaini in Kiswahili, and it is a medicinal tree, and it comes from the mahogany family. But here in the village, we call it village pharmacy because of its various benefits towards each and every part of the tree. So most of the time, the bark of the tree is what most of the people use here to cure so many diseases. So you can use the leaves of the tree, you can use the flower seeds, you can use the root and also the bark, just to uh, most of the time we boil. I remember during when we were small, my mom used to boil the bark of the tree, I think monthly, and we used to take it monthly. But for me here in my home, I always use the leaves, and I use them because studies show that the leaves treat ulcers. But because I do not have that condition, I always use the leaves for bathing, and also use the leaves for making some face mask. So I crush the leaves, and then I use that paste to apply on the face, or just put in my bathing water and then bathe, because it helps with acne, and also it soothes the skin. That's why I use it while bathing, and also for the facial mask. So the neem tree has so many benefits. One, it's medicinal, meaning it makes a lot of medicine. Especially it is very common in India. So most of the time they make a lot of medicine using the neem tree, and also neem oil. It produces neem oil. It is very common in the shops. And before you use it, just do a research on it, so that you can be sure on what you're using it for. So for mine, I'm just going to crush and use it for bathing. But if I had ulcers, I will definitely boil the leaves and drink it. So now back to my kitchen garden herbs. So the first herb that I'll talk about is the lemongrass. So lemongrass is commonly known as a fever grass, and the reason why it's a fever grass is because it reduces fever. That's according to studies, not me. And it is something also that I've taken anytime I feel like fever is coming. I always take some lemongrass tea. And the most common one, like here in the village, any time somebody sees this plant, they say that it's good for the stomach. So that means it aids digestion. Also, it reduces bloating. So if you're bloated, it's very good uh, to take the lemongrass tea. And the one thing that most people say when they want to take the lemongrass tea is that it reduces, or it lowers blood pressure, and also prevents infection. So that means when you have the lemongrass tea, things that concerns your stomach, if you have any issue with the stomach, it will really help you out. And for me, on losing weight, because they always say that it controls obesity. That's true, because I'm a CS mom, and when I gave birth to my two daughters through CS, I used to take the lemongrass tea, very hot lemongrass tea, every day in the morning, fasting in the morning, and also before sleeping. And it cuts down your weight instantly. And that is what I used, and it worked for me. When I'm making my lemongrass tea, I always use some mint. So mint is my second herb that I have here in my farm that really helps me out. So mint is a very aromatic herb, and it is used most of the time. It's used in cooking, in salads, in tea, and also it's a traditional medicine. And when I say medicine, some people believe that it cures headache when you drink fresh mint, and also it helps in soothing common cold. So those are the benefits of mint. And some even say that it reduces allergy symptoms. I'm not sure about that because I always take mint. I love the aroma in mint. So most of the time I use my mint in salads, I use my mint in my teas, and I use my mint in my drinks. So maybe if I'm making a ginger a shot, I use my mint. So that's why. So when I'm making my lemongrass, I just have to add mint, and make sure that when you're adding mint, put off the fire and just add your mint, let it rest for some few minutes, and then take your drink. It is perfect, especially if you feel like you have fever, if you feel that like your nose is blocked. Mint is the best thing to use. And sometimes even you can just put mint in very hot water and then cover yourself inside it and then inhale. And mint is very common in saunas. So, and just to note, it is very important to use all these herbs in moderation just to be safe on them. So one of my favorite herbs here in my kitchen garden is also the rosemary. So rosemary is it's from the sage family, and the sage family are oregano, thyme, and you can also realize that they always have that almost same smell. And I use my rosemary in different ways because one of the things that I realized is rosemary aids in digestion, and also it's good for the hair. So I just want to make here some hair liquid using the rosemary. So I've used some few rosemary. I boiled water first, then put the fire off, and then pour your I've poured just 1 tablespoon of cloves, and then cover it, let it sit for the night, and then the next day you can now start using. So I use my rosemary in tea, I use my rosemary in rice, I use my rosemary sometimes when I have a lot of rosemary, I dry them and then have some powder. So apart from, because the powder, I always feel like the powder, it will work well with food directly. And so after your rosemary has infused overnight, it's now ready to be used. So what I'm doing right now is just storing it. I'm going to sieve so that it doesn't have some particles inside, and then store in my sprayer. Then I will use it with my kids' hair because I plait their hair. They do not go to the salon, so I always try as much as possible to use the locally available things on their hair, especially the aloe vera, cleaning with aloe vera, and also making some rosemary water every now and then spray in their hair. It's very good for hair. And you all know cloves has so many benefits in hair, just like rosemary. So that's the reason why I used cloves together with rosemary. So now let's talk about ginger. Ginger is one of my favorites, and during my last video, I posted harvesting a lot of ginger. So today I just want to talk about the ginger leaves also. Did you know that ginger leaves have so many health benefits, which includes aiding in digestion, and I mostly use the ginger for tea and also some ginger shots and also food. So it's always, ginger is always a spice and a folk medicine. So most of the time I make ginger shots and I take it either before bed, not every time, just once in a while, because I have so many herbs here. So I always decide on which one to use this week and the next week, and sometimes I skip on either one of the herbs for some time and then use it. Especially if it is not necessary, I do not use it. So when I want to make my ginger shot, I always make it just grate the ginger, boil some water, and then pour in the ginger inside and let it boil completely. And then that's when I take my shot. And I sometimes I use honey, because I did another video when I had put honey in my ginger shot, and you can also decide not to put honey, and sometimes I even put rosemary inside my ginger, just because of the smell of rosemary and the combination. And if you can realize, almost all these herbs have almost one health benefit, and that is digestion. If you've been keen on listening on all the herbs that I've mentioned, most of them aids in digestion. So that means they are all good for your health. That is according to me. So you can decide to take your ginger shot anytime. So you can take it fasting in the morning, or before bed. So after you've eaten, take some few hours and then take your ginger shot. And it really works. Especially for me, I just have to add some lemon for some taste. And if it is many, because this ginger powder, I use it as a spice, and because I harvested a lot, I just had to make some ginger powder. So those are the benefits of ginger here in my farm. So lastly, let's talk about turmeric. So turmeric is from the ginger family. That is something we all know, and it has so many benefits. We have turmeric soap. It makes soaps. It's good for the skin. You can drink also turmeric tea and add some mint inside. So as I said earlier, all of these herbs that I've talked about, they are good in aiding digestion. Even for the turmeric, it aids in digestion and also promotes glowing skin, and that is what almost all women really want. So and sometimes it helps in weight management. I'm not sure about that, because most of the time here I use for my face. I make some paste, just water, turmeric, and add some honey, and then I make some facial paste and then apply on the face. Very good in it. So you can make your face mask, which helps in reducing dark spots and also acne. And it is a very easy plant to grow. So you just buy the turmeric from the market and then just plant it. It takes around 1 month, 1.5 months to start shooting, but after they have shot, they grow really well. So now back to the farm. I just want to harvest. My farm manager harvested some beans that were already mature on the other side of the farm. So I just want to look for green bananas. They are already mature. If you leave them in the farm a little further, the moment you harvest it, you're not supposed to harvest green bananas when they are really mature, because they will start ripening after they stay in the house for some days, because here it is very hot. So if it is a banana, it takes just a few days and then they start ripening. So I just want to harvest and then use the banana stalks to mulch other crops, because I have other vegetables in the farm. So there was a video that I did while I was harvesting the bananas, and one of you asked me if it is edible, the banana stalk is edible, but here we do not eat the banana stalk or even the flower. But there are some communities that eat it, but here it is not eaten. I've never eaten. I don't know if it is edible or not. So I think I've answered you on that. And I have gotten a lot of requests from a few of my subscribers that they want some bananas, but I wish to gift almost every one of you, but this time round, because I'm clearing most of the bananas on this side of the farm, so I have less bananas, especially the ripe bananas. And for the green bananas, they take a little bit longer to mature than the ripe bananas. So if I have plenty, I'm sure you can just go to my email, the email that is in my profile, and then hit me up so that we can talk about it. But for now, I do not have bananas to sell. So next time I will make sure that I put you in mind. So because it is on a dry season, we just want to mulch our spring onions so that we can have some spring onions in the next 2 months during this dry season. And mulching is very important because it helps in retaining water on the ground. So that is very helpful. When you have any other plant, make sure you mulch them during the dry season. And the mulch also will act as manure. When they dry up and decompose, they will be compost manure. I want to cut the bananas in pieces. I want to prepare some for lunch today, and then the rest I'll just keep. And I want them to drain that liquid because that liquid destroys the tiles or even the floor, and even your clothes. If it pours on your clothes, it doesn't come out. So let me just cut them into pieces and then start preparing lunch. Baila. Bebê, fique. Shika. Mko wa nyumba tupige lunch. I think I'll never get tired of making or cooking green bananas, but some of my family here do not love when I cook bananas. There was a time I used to cook bananas almost every single day, and it became a problem. Even my husband said, "Hey, me, I cannot take that because it is too much now." So today I do it on moderation. So, and anytime I feel like I have a craving, I'll cook for myself and then store some in the fridge and cook other foods for the other family members because I stopped forcing everyone to eat what I love. So I'm done peeling, so I just want to wash them and then start cooking. Cooking green bananas is very easy, so you can either boil, and when I'm boiling, I do not peel. But when I'm cooking it with tomatoes and onions, I make sure that I peel, and then put oil, put tomato, the onions, let it cook just a little bit to retain the flavor, and then put the other ingredients like the tomatoes or the other vegetables, tomatoes, the hoho if you have, and the spices that you want inside your food, and then put your green bananas. And the trick about cooking green bananas, make sure when you put some water, let it cover the green bananas just a little bit. Do not put very little water, because it will tend, when you eating, you'll tend to feel like it is undercooked, and the reason is you decided to put very little water while cooking. So those are the tips while cooking green bananas. Cover it, let it cook for some few minutes, and then serve your food, and that is it. So that is it for us. Let us enjoy our lunch. If you have watched this video till the end, thank you so much. Be blessed. I will see you in my next video. Feel free to like, comment, and also share this video. And also you can ask any question during the comment section, in the comment section. So see you in my next video. Bye bye.